I feel like I've maybe got one.
Hit me.
But it's broad. Okay.
Let's do it.
Are we ready? Oh, it's me, Madame Web.
Jesus Christ. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
This is Who Would Watch This. Oh my Jesus Christ. All right. Welcome to Who...
Atlanta, because she's French. She is a madame.
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we're talking about Madame Web, which currently has a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 3.9 on IMDb, and a 1.4 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Cassandra Webb develops the powers to see the future. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she forges a relationship with three young women, bound for powerful destinies. If they can all survive a deadly presence.
Ooh, spooky.
I have chills, Carl. I have chills. We just got back.
To the bone.
Should we quickly flash back before we'd seen the movie?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
It's kind of like a time before Madame Web and then after Madame Web.
I'm a changed man. I'm an absolute changed man. I'm so on board with the French now. I get it.
Carl, we're going to be doing Madame Web. It drops Valentine's Day, but we're in Australia, so we get a day early. So that's huge for us, I guess.
Massive. That's massive.
It's just the power. It's just the luck of being Australian, huh? How good's that?
I'm very excited for it. Let's discuss.
Yes.
So Sony's had a handful of movies.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact. Yeah.
We've had. Yeah. They've been around for a bit.
They're blowing up.
Yeah, they're having a 100-year anniversary this year, so big on them. So they've had Morbius. They've had Venom. Those have been the only two like off-brand Marvel Spider-Man films, right? This one, again, has a trailer very similar to Morbius, where I think everybody went, "Ooh, that's bad."
Yeah.
Everyone collectively worked together and went, "No.
Nope, not going to be good." Morbius was such a revelation. I think everyone backed it in a big way, and it lived up to the hype, I think. I think everyone was like, yep, that's Morbius.
You watch it often.
I do. Every week I sit... It's Morbius Mondays. That's what I call it.
I think it's been very funny, though, how big that one line from the trailer has gotten.
Oh, it's huge, but it's such a good line. It's just how do you write that, you know?
What is it? It's the...
My mother was in the Amazon when she died researching spiders.
Yeah. Oh, he was in the Amazon with my mum when she was researching spiders right before she died. It's a long line. It's such a long run-on sentence of a line. And
it's a monologue, really.
And it's said with no charisma.
No.
It's said so bluntly over the top of the trailer, like to just sort of like center you in place with the film. And I guess you're like, I'll pay money for that.
Oh, 100%. I don't know. There's like reverse marketing. They've gone, let's just get people not interested. And then as a result, it's kind of the opposite of the Barbie, you know?
Yeah.
No mystery. Everyone's like, damn, that already sucks. I cannot wait to pay money to go see that. Carl, who do you think's going to watch Madame Web?
I think it's going to be either fans of the trailer who are very hyper aware of how poor the movie's likely to be. Egg on our face if it turns out it's a hit and we're not able to review it, because reviews aren't up yet.
No.
So we have no idea of which way
There's
it's going
an
to fall.
embargo, but that's not for us. We just can't see the film.
We're being we're that confident they've got a stinker on their hands that we're just going for it.
It's crazy. We've not reviewed. We've done Venom. We've done Venom 2. We've done Morbius.
We love doing a bad Sony film.
Because I think no one's upset, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the DC has those weird fan people. Marvel people are a lot. No one is backing the Sony pro.
Who's the ones that are like, these are the
I
ones.
guess it's us. I guess so far we've gone out to the cinema to watch every single one.
Yeah, you're so right. We've put in definitely over $50 to Sony. Yeah. You're welcome. I think it's going to be also potentially for Dakota Johnson fans.
Yeah.
I think.
Which I think you should categorize, because what is a Dakota Johnson fan? I think the apathetic.
Anyone that's excited that she somehow got Ellen just like removed from life.
Yeah.
Anyone that's also allergic to limes.
I guess if it sucks, Ellen might be happy. She hasn't. We haven't seen her in like 6 years, but I think she turned on Madame Web and goes, "Yes, that was bad."
I reckon she's at the cinema. She's snuck in. She's not paid for a ticket. So Dakota Johnson doesn't get any back end profit, and she's gone. Let's see you fall apart. I reckon that's what Ellen's done. Oscar, who do you think it's for?
I think it's Ellen heads, huh? Or
it's for Coneheads.
It's for Coneheads, or big Madame Web fans. You know,
Why didn't I say that?
Of course. Well, I mean, everyone's always gasping and gasping for the next Madame Web feature, and we just haven't got one in a while. I'm glad. Did anyone know Madame Web was a thing?
You're not a big Madame Web fan?
Well, I know.
She sews the webs of time. She sews the webs of time.
But, it's crazy we've had so much Spider-Man stuff and no one's mentioned it, which isn't great. I feel like Spider-Verse went, we found all
Even
of them.
Spider-Verse shoved Madame Web to the side. They were like, you get a line in the background of the second movie, but even then, there's a billion other characters before you. So you know that can't be good. Even with, like, the Spider-Man games have tied in, like, Kraven the Hunter and Venom. So... It's weird. I don't know.
I was aware of Carnage as well.
Yeah, that's
Vaguely
right.
aware.
I don't know where the hell they dug up Morbius and Madame Web from. I've never heard of these characters pre-film.
And give him $100 million.
Oh, it's such a... I just hope Dakota Johnson I hope she got a paycheck. Yeah. I hope she made a lot of money. I would love that for her.
Carl, let's talk about Madame Web.
I'm buzzing. I thought it was so good. For context, Oscar and I refused to let Oscar and I talk about the movie in the car ride home from
We've
the
been
cinema.
sitting in silence like a divorcee couple.
Oh my god, this is huge. I'm so excited to just unpack it. It's such a shame. One, we weren't able to jot down notes in the cinema, so we're going to be running off a very broad concept.
We're going to be wacky. We're going to be pulling from the here and there.
We're pulling in as like my brain like pieces together memory as the movie is leaving my brain so quickly.
Which is ironic because a lot of brain heavy stuff, you know?
Oh, it is. It's definitely for an intellectual, the film. That's definitely who it's going for.
Carl, we start off the film great. We missed the first 5 minutes because we were getting popcorn.
It was a great deal. We got a tub of popcorn, 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Huh? Wasn't that great?
I mean, here's the thing. When you come to this podcast, you know, those guys want to be full of liquid and various corn.
Yeah. Just so you know, there's such a state of my mouth is so dry because the amount of popcorn I ate did not match the amount of liquid I consumed.
Which I thought was crazy because it was a good liter of soda. So
we were like 40 minutes in, you're like, you want any more of this? And I was like, get that popcorn
It was just
bucket
a
away
barrel
from
of
me.
salt. I was like, you want to suck it dry?
God.
So we have Googled stuff. First off, we get introduced to Madame Web's mother.
Yeah.
She's in the Amazon. You know the line. And then we cut to 2003.
It's 2003.
Yes.
When we enter the movie, we are introduced with a very great line, which is Dakota Johnson. She's looking at a picture of her mum. She goes, I hope the spiders were worth it, Mum. Puts the photo down, closes the case, puts it under her bed. It was at this moment I knew we had an instant classic on our hands. I was all in.
The shot lasts a long beat, and you go, "Wow, we're in."
I was like, "Whoa, everything's off," and I love it. We get like her day-to-day job, which is working with Adam Scott.
I would love that. So she's a paramedic. It's crazy because I feel like we've been shown like all the press release stuff has been like here's Sydney Sweeney and Madame Web. Yeah. And I think there's a few actors who have been just putting their head down and going, "Oh man, that's crazy." Madame Web came out. One, Adam Scott's in the film.
Yeah, Adam Scott's in the film. Yeah, he is. And he's in it a lot as well. A surprising amount as Ben. Emma Roberts is also in the film.
Yes.
Who, when she rocked up, I was starstruck.
We've also got Shosh from the TV show Girls. She's also in it. We'll get to her. But just a lot of actors who have been very quiet, and good for them for all getting a paycheck. Stealing money from Sony.
I know. You wanna be bleeding Sony dry.
Yeah.
So good on all these actors, and good on them for also getting out unscathed.
Yeah.
There's only 2 people associated with the movie, and it's Sydney Sweeney and it's Dakota Johnson. I'm going to bring it up now.
Yeah.
I think Dakota Johnson is giving the performance of a lifetime.
We've covered her on like 50 Shades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's like given nothing, but it's a bit of an early career, and I feel like she got a bit of hate for that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone now knows what her vibe is.
Yeah.
And this performance is great. It doesn't seem like there's a script, and it seems like I've got an improv, and she's going, well, I'm just gonna be apathetic and not that keen.
They definitely have told her you need to look like you keep seeing the future, and she's gone, I don't know how to convey that, so I'll just keep my eyes open a lot.
And they're like, we'll put a wind machine behind you.
Yeah,
that will do. We get introduced. Anyway, she's a paramedic. She's saving some people on a bridge. Oh shit, Carl. The car falls off the bridge. She's in the car.
This is our first taste of the editing in the movie.
Yes.
Which is hyper.
Yeah.
It's so hyper. It's all over
I
the
really
place.
can't say I've seen it in a major blockbuster before. That's not a compliment, but it's not an insult. It doesn't look like any superhero film that's come out recently.
It's so 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like it's ripped out of it. It's like they studied what a 2000 superhero movie looked like and made it today.
Because it's set in 2003.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because other than like a cell phone being in sight, they kind of didn't bother
She
with
says
everything
that
else.
she's keen to go home and watch Idol.
That is crazy.
That was
right?
a nuts line to me. I went, whoa!
I thought they were tying in The Idol. I was like, crazy HBO got that, huh?
No, they were going all in on America. She was like, I've got to get home and vote for Kelly. Sorry, I maybe just died. Sorry, Adam Scott, I got to get home and
Kelly's
vote for Kelly.
on the TV.
I'm tossing up between Justin and Kelly. God, I hope they're in a film one day. But I got to go. Sorry, I died. And in that moment, she saw the future and she went, "No, I don't want them to be in a film one day."
She saw the results or saw the Kelly. She saw Justin to Kelly.
She saw both.
Oh,
she was also just
so
like
the whole runtime went. It's not worth it.
She was like, Seacrest, the host for everything ever.
Wow. Good for him.
Crazy she didn't just go and play the stock market.
Yeah, it's an odd. This film doesn't. You think it's going somewhere, and it goes, "We're gonna hang around a weird area."
Yeah.
It really keeps you on your toes, and that's what the editing as well.
I would love Dakota Johnson to be my paramedic. I feel like if I was dying and she was there, just being like, "Don't worry, it'll be fine." Literally, stop complaining about your pain.
Just kind of a weird. Okay?
Can you just like calm and move to the left?
Your heartbeat's kind of like a weird vibe.
My hands in your chest, and it's ick.
But yeah, she dies. She gets the fun. We get to see the fun Madame Web powers.
Yeah.
Which for the film, I don't really know. Essentially, she can just see the future sometimes. She's that so ravening.
She's that so ravening everything. It also gave me a lot of like that Nicolas Cage movie Next.
Yes.
You ever seen that?
I have seen Next.
Yeah.
I love
Major Next vibes.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Which is also from, I think maybe the exact same year. I think that might have come out in 2003.
2003, yeah.
Oh, but it is a weird thing where she is consistently triggered by noise. And the sound design is so loud and everything's like a bang or a pop or just... And they are so concerned we are not going to pick up on what her powers are, or they obviously don't know how they're meant to be. So we have 20 minutes of her figuring out her powers, and they're so mundane.
She's died. They're like, but don't worry, I gotta go to my baby shower.
That is the perfect op to not attend a baby shower.
Yeah.
Be like, I cannot make it. I literally just died.
Yeah.
What
a great excuse. No one wants to go to a baby shower.
I've got to watch Idol.
It's the worst. I've got to watch Idol.
It's the
worst birthday, and you can't really get drunk.
Absolutely.
What's the point?
Emma Roberts walks out and is like, "Don't worry, we're going to play." They're also setting up something that I don't think you picked up on, but they were so intense on being like, Ben's going to become an uncle. Ben, the uncle. Ben, the uncle. Ben equal uncle.
Here's the thing.
Uncle.
You mock this. I didn't pick this up. 40 minutes of the film went, who the fuck's this Ben character? And why should I care? But yeah, it's Uncle Ben, huh? From Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben, there you go.
Yeah.
When I told you that, you went huge for Adam.
Yeah.
This is so big for Mr. Scott.
I thought it was huge. You know, he's got Severance, but that has been off for 4 years. He was like, man, I really got to pick up the slack. Get that Uncle Ben money, huh?
What do you mean you're delaying Severance another year? Get me on Madame Web now. They're at this baby shower, and there are a handful of insane things here. But the thing that I want to unpack the most is Dakota Johnson's handed a Pepsi.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was told by the art department, do not open this Pepsi, or just make sure you're always holding it in a way that the Pepsi sign is like looking right at the audience. But she is talking around and like trying to open the Pepsi, but not really opening the Pepsi. Like she's just sort of teasing
the Pepsi.
The
point that maybe I think it's great marketing because it's all you can focus on for the whole scene is Pepsi.
Couldn't tell you what they talked about at the scene.
I wanted just a cool drink to calm up my nerves.
I literally, my head had sunken into its like body, and I was just sipping on a drink, and I was like, open that fucking Pepsi. Somebody open that goddamn Pepsi.
We had so much liquid, and you're like, all I wanted was a Pepsi.
I was like, open that fucking Pepsi, Dakota. Please, for the love of God. She walks into the next scene, still holding the Pepsi. She's still got that goddamn... I don't know why she teases around, and she's still just like, maybe I'll open this, maybe I won't.
She's tossing it around like, nah, man, I don't know, this Pepsi's pretty good, though.
Talk about a fucking letdown. When they get to the third scene, that thing's open. And we missed the climax of this debacle.
Here's the thing, Alfred Hitchcock always talks about suspense. And they lost it, okay? That little pop could have been a moment.
When a bomb goes off at random,
yeah
you have shock from the audience.
Yeah.
But when you tell people a bomb's going to go off, that's what matters. When you tell people a can's going to get opened, that's what matters.
And I've never seen this before. They go, "There's a can's gonna be opened," and then they cut to someone else, and they go, "Hey, that can got open over there. So don't worry about it."
You know what's so interesting is the movie definitely keeps cutting before they need to pay for something because like the car goes off the bridge and they're like cut.
Yeah.
And then there's scenes where like the Spider-Man character goes to jump and they cut.
Yeah.
And it seems that maybe they couldn't afford to open the can.
Well, Pepsi had the chokehold in this film, and we'll get to Pepsi because it seems like they're the director, really.
Oh, absolutely. It's the worst movie ever made, but also maybe the best commercial I've ever seen.
Oh my god!
Because I want one.
That's
I want a fucking Pepsi.
that Kendall Jenner ad. Listen, I did a lot of things with Pepsi, but this, wow, Pepsi's gonna be back on the map, huh?
Oh my god, Coke's fucked.
It's finished. It's finished.
Fucked.
Throw down
where it's going.
Pour out your Coke. I know you got tons of it. Just pour it down the toilet because it's useless.
I've gone
Pepsi's
out to a storm drain and I've just opened all the caps. They're all gone, and I'm off to get a single can of Pep.
We get this baby shower. We get some little, hey, oh shit, I can tell the future. You're so right. The film just really wants you to know this is how the powers work.
Yeah.
And here's one scene, sort of like a teaser of the powers.
Yeah.
Just some more awkward interactions. Dakota Johnson is fun here, I think.
She's so good here, and this is the type of thing that I don't know if it's written or she just wanted to do it, but
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Dakota, where's your mother? And she's like, dead in childbirth.
Yeah.
And then points to the pregnant woman, just like, sort of like what's happening here, but,
Yeah.
dead.
And I thought the whole thing would be like she can tell the future and then she's going to go back and then rewrite those wrongs. She pretty much doubled down and she goes, listen, I know I've already said this, but I can't trust it enough. My mother died in childbirth. You might go the same. That baby might be gone.
She's like, don't worry, it very rarely happens. Oh, 1 in 5.
1 in 5. You know,
Just like,
it's high. It's
she's
high.
like,
And we should be aware.
You should be worried. Anyway, is your baby's name going to be Peter or what?
We jump. Ben is like, hey, there's a fire at the fireworks factory. We need to get that down stat.
It just cuts, and her whole thing here is just CPRing someone.
Yes.
Just for such a long time.
The film is frustrating because, I don't know about the effects, but the main thing that I think's crazy is that we get shown a scene and then we get sort of flashbacks to the front of the scene, and then we're going to get paid off of the scene. This happens about 8 times in the film.
It's a hell of a way to watch a film.
But also, it never like changes your perception of it. It's just the what's just about to happen. So you're just kind of watching it, going back. It's just a waste of time. Yeah. I would have liked it if each one sort of played on it and did something different. And
yeah, I think it would have. I think this scene is trying to do something where she is She keeps seeing the vision of the bloody hands, and she associates it with the person she's trying to save.
Yes.
But the bloody hands come out in a different situation than she anticipates. And I thought there was going to be more of that, of her misunderstanding what the visions meant.
Yes, misreading the situations, doing something, and like testing out her powers.
Because in terms of her working out her powers and everything, there's no adversity.
No.
Like, she just gets good at it.
No.
There's no, I need to work out how to do this thing.
Yes.
Or my powers let me down this way.
Well,
that never happens.
No, but then that's most of the film. Most of the film is her kind of bumbling around with her powers.
Most of the film is people not listening to her when she's proven they should.
Yes.
It must be very frustrating. Like, I can only imagine being given these powers and just being like, fucking listen to me.
She's a mess. She's a hot mess, quite frankly. And the chief is like, just go home. You're a wreck.
Yeah, he's just like, you are... For some reason, she's like the only working paramedic in the scene.
Ben is just constantly like, hey, Dakota, another dead body. And he's having a smoke. Just
Keeps on clicking at her and is like, wait, Dakota, this... Madame!
Oi, madame. Oh, yoo-hoo.
We miss you, madame. Miss Webb. This body here,
he's lighting a cigarette off the fire. He's chatting. Just like, anyway, so I'm birthing this Peter, right?
He's just pissing on
anyway,
someone.
so power gives like responsibility, some shit like that. Anyway, so fuck, man.
He's like, I'm about to become an uncle. It's pretty fucking huge. I hope it doesn't end in my own demise. Anyway, madame.
But she gets let off. She's just go home, and at this point, like, okay, now she's gonna discover her powers.
She has this thing about wanting to drive an ambulance.
Yes.
I don't think she's allowed to drive an ambulance.
No,
I guess maybe she's not trusted behind a wheel.
I don't know what that was. I think it was almost her being like, "Hey, let me drive that ambulance, and then I will save you." 'Cause I think she had a hunch. I
wonder if we missed it.
I don't think that they're like, you're a woman, you can't drive.
No, I mean more just like, like a bit of a like, oh no, you need to get your license or something to do, like you need to do your crash ambulance course.
I think it's just...
Because she gets to drive an ambulance at the end and it feels like...
a win.
Well, I mean, the movie does not do good foreshadowing.
No.
They are constantly just like...
There's not even foreshadowing. They tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's them being like... You can't go in there. These fireworks going off, that's a bomb. And they repeat it 4 to 9 times in the scene. And then it ends and you go, okay. But when it comes back, you're like, right. That's why
That's
they were
what
like,
that-
don't you fucking forget. It's the most the movies ever grabbed me by the shirt and shook me and been like, don't you forget about fucking fireworks.
Which is crazy because the Ben stuff went all over my head. They were shaking me, slapping me, and going, "This Ben character better pay off."
But I understand why you would have missed the Ben thing, because they're so intense on just being like, buy a fucking Pepsi, you cunt. Just go and buy a Pepsi.
If you don't get your goddamn quenched, if you're not quenched, get the fuck out of this film.
Wet your goddamn whistle. Wet it. She's not doing well because it seems that over the course of 2 days, a handful of things has happened. She's died.
Yep.
She's realized she's got the power
She
to
has
see
come over adversity. She's literally fought to death.
I just assume this is what paramedics go through.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very thankless role, okay? We as a society should thank them more, okay?
Yeah.
She's died. Then she's been forced to go to a baby shower.
Yeah.
And then she is then gone to a fire at a fireworks factory, in which case her superior then dies in a fiery accident she could have stopped. And then she goes and gets herself a check, and the doctor diagnoses her with you're just got trauma, and then goes, the cure is watching an old film. And I was there thinking, this woman's been through a lot.
Give her pills. Give her something,
Give
know?
give her a bunch
Zonk
of...
her out, you know?
Oh, God. Just put her on a drip and
Give her
knock her out.
what was that thing like back in like the I don't know, the 400s, and they were just like, here's cocaine.
lobotomy?
Yeah, lobotomy.
They were just
lobotomize.
like, you've got trauma, lobotomize yourself. You've had a bad week.
You've had a bad week. Just cut that
Yeah.
brain off.
I would have done it myself. This is her when she is lonely sitting and watching that old film.
I would see. Here's the thing. I would have done it at the baby shower. I would have been like, "Yo, cool, baby shower," and then just immediately needle in their
They're
eye.
like, hey, we're going to talk about our favorite memory of our mum and then baby names. And I would have been like, yeah, okay, just get me a skewer and a fucking hammer. Like,
But yeah, she goes home. She watches the old movie. More Madame Web stuff happens.
yeah, she smashes some plates. She
Yeah.
opens her microwave wrong.
Yeah.
A bird dies. And then she realizes she can save it. And she leaves the window open. The bird flies through.
Yes.
And she watches it. I don't know how else to explain it, but she is looking at a CGI bird, and they have not matched the bird to her eyeline, and so she is always just slightly
off.
She's just
all
slightly
the
off
animals in
wherever
this-
the bird's
all
going.
These animals are CGI. It's very
Yeah.
odd.
It's hire a pigeon.
But so this is like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes in the film.
Could be an hour.
It could be
Who's
an hour.
to know?
But they've just repeated this is so you can learn the powers.
Yeah.
Carl, we should probably get into the villain.
We absolutely have to.
Yeah.
He's got a handful of defining traits.
Yes.
One, the man loves picking up at the opera. He knows what he's doing. Sometimes it's as easy as handing the program that's on the filthy floor over to the woman, and it's just going to cut to him wooing her. I don't know how he did it. I simply don't know how he did it. Imagine doing it wordlessly in an opera.
She go back to his apartment. Big red flag first. He's got a big aquarium for a single spider.
That's got to be a massive turnoff.
That
I would walk in and do a loop around the enclosure and head right back out. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Got you,
Sociopath.
single spiders. Gotcha. Let's just get out of here.
You'd walk in and see that spider and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's literally just dawned on me. You picked me up wordlessly at an opera and I'm here.
I've made mistakes in my life that have led me here, and quite frankly, I need to right my wrongs.
I get this is a nice apartment, and yeah, that may be a marble bench top, but I gots to go.
I gots to go.
I gots to do me.
Now, they fuck passionately. We don't get to see
We watch it all happen again. They've cut
The
out what they
spider
can't.
watchers.
They've cut out what they can't afford, which
Yeah.
seems to be every climax in the movie.
Oh.
right. I've done well.
Now, it's revealed that is she a spy because she has a gun? Now, is she just?
I don't they recommend if you go to an opera, make sure to bring a gun in case you want to kill yourself.
Unless you go to an alleyway and you see some rich parents. And
Oh,
bang!
absolutely, yeah. They're
Get
always
those
like,
pearls.
you need to be on the lookout to murder somebody with pearls and leave a boy to be
course.
adopted.
Of course.
As many operas go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Italians sing.
Oh, good for them. Now, she is a spy? Is she a spy?
She works for some security
the FBI-esque.
thing. Yeah.
He poisons her with her venom powers. They're
Yeah,
not
he's
venom
got
powers, but
he's
they've
got a venom hand.
Yeah, venom hand.
Yeah, which is lame as hell. Again, they've done a very good job at going, what movie do we need to make? Okay, Madame Web, about a woman who is kind of Spider-Man, but not really, and weaves the webs of time.
Yes.
We will pair them up with Venom Handyman over there.
Yes.
And that's a
Match
good
made in heaven.
premise.
That's
80
made in
million.
heaven. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Done. He poisons her. He pretty much goes, hey, by the way, my thing is I have dreams. And my dreams is that I get killed by 3 women. So I don't know how to fix that, but I'm going to kill you when I try and figure it out.
It's crazy because you could just see on her face when he's listening to him be like, yeah, these 3 women in suits just keep killing me. And she's just nodding, being like, yeah, you've got a kink.
Yeah.
That spider enclosure out there, and
this... I made a lot of mistakes. Maybe I'm into this, huh? Maybe I fall back in love, huh?
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I can do this. And how funny would it have been if, because you know how he grabs her and is like, I'm going to poison you unless you give me all of your security clearance? I would have loved as a twist if she's fully in. She's like, no way, seriously? The same dream? Okay. She's like, well, we've got to kill them before they kill you.
Yeah, I've got a gun, let's go. Bang, bang, chop, chop.
She's like, let's go into that alleyway and just free fire at people.
Surely one of them's them, huh?
He touches her, and how did they have sex without him doing his little venomy hand?
I don't think it's Midas rules. I don't think he just. I think
it is.
it's not Midas rules.
I think it's 100% Midas rules.
He's been cursed with anybody I touch turns to poison.
You weren't listening in the flashbacks that they were like, we've cursed his right hand.
We should also say, I don't know. Again, I don't know what post-production goes on, and we can't say. But this might be some of the worst ADR I've ever heard in my life.
They must have shot near, I don't know, just somebody blending gravel, because there's no reason. I'll
recreate it right now. Let's say you're moving your lips. I'm doing this.
Hey girl, how you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna wear like this, and that's great. Can't wait to kill you. Let's go kill those girls.
That's the audio for the whole thing.
His audio is specifically
he sounds like an anime villain, that's not been dubbed right. It's that vibe, and it kind of, dare I say, it works for him.
I think this is them showing that any scene with him is maybe a reshoot.
Yes.
They've just had to fast track audio production. They're all a single room.
Doesn't feel paced at all. It feels so cut together in such odd ways.
They've also been very cheeky, and I think they've sold an action movie.
Yeah,
and this isn't an action movie.
No,
and you see action from the 3 women in the trailer.
Yeah,
and in this movie, it is actually very disorientated flashback vibes.
Yes,
and that's it.
No. It's
maybe 40 seconds.
Dare I say, it's just the film boils down to almost like a chase film. When
it's like Next.
It's like right next, or like The Fugitive. They're just pretty much on the run from a baddie. That's pretty much the film.
Which should be good. Imagine if they had done that, but with a Good Times vibe.
Yes.
Just really fast paced. Let's just hit the
ground
running.
The editing could work for that. It could.
It could. There is because I'll throw it out here right now.
Yeah.
I think this is I don't think it's a better movie, but I think it's a more enjoyable movie than Morbius.
Morbius is so cookie cutter.
Yeah, and boring.
And dull. This is a hot mess, but you can see something interesting here. We went back and the writers also wrote Morbius, but the director is from The Life of Mars, which is a classic show. Also did what did she also do?
She's done she's been in TV for ages, so she's done Jessica Jones, Succession, Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. I think this directing, it's odd, but it's definitely a choice. And I think
that's the thing. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's good.
Yes.
Is the fact that she is firmly stuck to a vibe.
Yeah.
It reminds me of...
It just is disorientating because they've also heavily edited the film, almost like a studio vibe.
Yeah.
So then it's those two crowding together. So it just seems like a real big mess.
The vibe of the movie to me reminded me of the first Twilight film. Of just being, this is in its own lane and it feels like it's from 10 years earlier and it's outdated. But I think that in itself is an enjoyable vibe. It's also really interesting too, I think, in a year where there's just been a lot of bad superhero movies.
Yeah.
To go... How is this one so much worse than those other ones? That's what blew my mind. I was like,
it is worse. But what were you doing? Ant-Man, Shazam. What were the other ones?
The
Flash.
The Marvels, The Flash.
Yes.
There was maybe only one good superhero movie last year. So it's crazy.
A different realm though.
I think those all space
300 million big studio ones of that, just flat color and just awful weird decisions that shouldn't cost this. This has a vibe, and they just haven't hit it.
Yeah, this movie's kind of a hoot.
Yeah,
it's just kind of for 2 hours. It's fairly fast paced.
There's no action.
No,
really.
There's no action.
It's really just talking, and it's still to dialogue. Yeah. It's not good. But
it's not good at all.
But it's something.
It's crazy to me because a lot of the movies, them just replaying same scenes things over and over and
Yeah.
over again. It's half a film folding in on itself, really. It's crazy what they've gotten away with premise-wise.
Now, let's get into...
Let's talk about our three protagonists.
Yes. Madame Web is like, I need to go on a train. I need to get out of here. Now, she gets onto the big train station in New York. What's it called? Central Station?
Yeah.
Yeah. She meets the three girls don't even know each other. They're just all on a train for random reasons.
They're all meant to be high schoolers.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. These are fully grown adults.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
They're wearing a wig. They're in a school uniform. It's like, she's 16. Anyway,
They kept on being like, Sydney Sweeney's shy, leave her be. And I was like, huh?
it's very odd. But the villain is tracking them with...
Essentially the Dark Knight.
Shosh is her Morgan Freeman, I guess. And it's set in the 2003. She has such a great setup. It's beautiful monitors.
She's got a BlackBerry plugged into 40 monitors.
It's so high tech. It's like, what's that Fast and Furious, the thing that scans your face and can track a thing? You remember the thing they spent the whole movie chasing? She just has it.
Oh, God's egg. God's eye.
God's eye. It's God's eye. It's crazy. She's also given nothing, and good for her for getting a paycheck.
If she got recruited by Mr. Nobody at the end of this, I screamed. I would have screamed if they said Madame Web is being folded into the Fast and Furious franchise.
But she's sitting behind the desk, I assume was done in a day. Now, yeah, they all get to the train
maybe even
station.
half a day.
Yeah.
She's just looking at monitors. Sometimes she doesn't even have a line. Sometimes she just spills a coffee just cause.
They're all at the train station. They all get on the train. The villain's like, this is a piece of piss. I'm going to kill him right now. Madame Web, though, jumps into the scene.
This is so irritating. How long they leave it in the scene for them to all get murdered and her to have like weird intricacies with the other characters. This is taking ages.
It does take ages. They go, she has a flashback for that murder. Then she chats to a woman. That has a flashback there.
Yeah.
It feels like a 20-minute scene just flipping behind it. Just move on.
I wonder if Christopher Nolan loved it.
Oh,
I wonder
yeah.
if he's like, this is what I've been
This
trying
is what we're
to
trying to do
achieve
with
with
Tenet.
time.
Oh my god. Oppenheimer was, a flash in the pan. This is it.
He was like, if this was shot in IMAX, this would have been huge. This would have changed the game for Sony.
Now, she
saves them.
She saves them.
And this is where I went, oh no. They are not acting normal.
No.
Right? They're nobody's acting normal in the scene.
No, I feel like we've got Sydney Sweeney, who's like kind of, a bit shy nerd. We've got the sort of rebel one who's just like a runaway, and then just a third character who kind of also was the nerdy shy girl, but then has been sort of isn't given that anymore.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all being very hush hush about their little backstories, only to reveal later they're all not lovable.
Yeah.
And I agree. These three actresses have absolutely no chemistry between one another. They're mean to one another
They
as well.
are mean, but they just pick a lane. I don't think, because they were like, are they best friends or are they becoming... They're not gelling, but it's not like that's the motivation for the film scene. It's just they're kind of not gelling. But I think it's because... And Dakota Johnson never comes into this with the three of them. The vibes are just kind of very improv-y, They were like, just kind of chat for a bit, we'll figure something out.
I've seen situations like this on stage at improv classes.
Yeah.
They've been like, you're on the run and some guy's coming to kill you and you've saved these three girls because you could see the future and this is the scene and you're nerd, you're cool, and you're cool nerd.
Yeah.
And scene, go. And one of them just launches to the next one just is like, you're a fat cow. Like, that's
And
just
no
what-
yes and. And they just go, all right, well, fuck you cunt. It just devolves into mess.
Yeah, one of them's like, I'll throw a rock at you. There really is just weird improv and just Dakota Johnson just being like, I'm going to back away from
Yeah,
whatever
it's crazy
this
in the
is.
improv scene. She's like, that was a bad... Let's just...
Yeah.
And she's just like, I hate this. I don't like you guys. I'm not vibing this.
She's like, if this was on stage, I'd walk stage left, but because I'm not, I'm going to hop in this taxi.
Now, she saves them from... The villain's dressed as like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And has the Spider-Man powers. Except where he can climb, and he's very strong.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the web powers.
Yes.
So, let's discuss, why do we think he is barefoot
I
all
don't
the time?
know. I don't know.
Do you reckon he needs that for the stickiness? He's just like, well,
he
I can't keep...
he gets changed, so maybe he's like, listen, the clothes fold up quite well, but shoes are hard to travel with. I can put them in my back pocket, a shirt, I Can't put shoes there.
He might be really into Jordans. He's like, I can't lose another pair.
No.
I can't. I simply can't
They're
lose
very
another
expensive.
pair.
I'm very rich, but they do cost a pretty penny.
If there's one thing I know from our trip to New York, it's that I absolutely would not walk barefoot around anywhere there.
Oh God, no.
So I was...
I was thinking, I feel like he had a lot more. I feel like it may have been like a character choice, but it's never established. So just like halfway through the movie, why he's shoeless.
Yeah.
And it kind of throws you.
Yeah, I wonder if also maybe his poison hand also is his feet. Maybe he kept poisoning shoes.
Gotcha.
Could that be a thing?
So you're saying that his one hand is constantly poisoning, and his shoes and his feet, however, have the similar power, but just for soles and rubber.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Anytime he's gone to get a foot massage, death.
Oh, no. She can touch the shoes, can't touch his feet.
Oh, yeah.
But hands can touch it.
Yes.
It's a very specific power, but it works.
I would have loved him to have his whole other plot about he's left his shoes behind to try and kill these 3 girls.
Yes.
Only for somebody to find them and want to return them to him, and he gets a whole Cinderella story in the middle of this.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be gorgeous?
So much better. But again, they edited it out. It's
I know.
a cruel mistake.
Let's talk about the ethics of the movie.
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson thinks these 3 women are going to get killed.
Yes.
So she tries to save them.
Yes.
This results in him killing about 40 people.
Yeah.
Do we think maybe she should have just let him kill them?
I mean, again, she's going off. I think she should have more and more. Because she can just see them going to die. So I think she's done the right thing.
Yeah.
But I think she must have gone, phew, all right, you girls better be pretty important because a lot of people died just then.
It's crazy to me that she, as a paramedic, has no respect for any other authority.
I mean, she has a legal oath, doesn't she?
I don't know. She doesn't seem to respect policemen or firefighters. She just seems to be like,
She
it's
pulls
just
one of their
us.
guns out and shoots a kid on the street.
She does.
Let's go,
She
kids.
takes a gun out of a cop, shoots a firefighter, then shoots the cop.
Yeah.
And then she goes, let's go into the back alley. There's an opera over there.
Ambos win. Let's go. She steals a taxi, and the girls get in.
Yeah.
It's not really working, the chemistry here.
Why are all 3 of them in the back seat? Why not put one of them in the front?
I don't know. I feel like just for the shot, right?
I mean, I just feel like the dynamics would have been... It's just sort of
weird.
weird.
I think that closing the taxi window wouldn't have worked as well. That gag works, huh?
I think, no, it would have been hilarious, because essentially, let me set the scene.
Yeah.
They're all frustrating her. She closes the window taxi on
Yeah.
them. What she should have done is, if there's 2 of them in the back seat, she closes the window taxi, turns to the one to her right and goes, and just, you shut the fuck up.
No, that's fun.
And then just keeps driving.
That is fun.
Huh?
Wow,
That's good.
Huh? You should have directed that single scene.
I would have happily done it. I would have happily done it. S.J. Clarkson, give me a call. I would have come in. I would have given you a hand. I would have known how to handle that taxi sequence phenomenally. But I see where you're going with it, S.J. Clarkson. You just want to get them out of New York to a random forest.
We are in a book. The film somehow meanders, and then we'll just be somewhere. We're in, I guess, I don't know, what's the nearest forest?
It could be Central Park.
It could be
It
Central-
could be the Hamptons.
I don't
could
know.
be Chicago.
We're in a rainforest, and she's like, Dakota Johnson. They all come together. They kind of give their backstories. Like,
This is to me where these 3 girls maybe should have been like, oh, maybe she is going to kill us.
yeah,
Like, this is sort of Zodiac vibes.
Yeah.
Where she's like, yeah, now build a fire and I'll get you some beef
She
jerky.
goes, I can see the future. If you guys move, I'll kill you. Huh? Like I did those cops. Now, please stay put, and I'll be back in 3 hours. I need to go look up a book.
I love this because I went, oh, surely this isn't the right thing to go and leave, but I guess so. Any chance Dakota Johnson's character gets a chance to abandon these 3 girls, she takes. She takes it a heartbeat.
It's a weird character motivation. I don't think she really gets over. She's just like, man, if I could just throw you onto your parents. This is really annoying me.
Yeah, at one stage she's like, let you people be anybody
And
else's
spoilers,
responsibility.
we find out all their tragic backstories is their parents haven't died. Some have died. Some are just kind of like absentees.
Some flat out don't love them.
And Dakota Johnson's like, oh god, that means it's on me. Damn.
These 3 girls treat everybody else in the movie so poorly, and they're so mean to Dakota Johnson for trying to help them.
But rightfully so. They're mean to her, but not in the right way of, hey, you have left us in the middle of the forest, hungry, and with no information.
It wouldn't surprise me if these 3 girls just bullied their parents out of the country.
Yeah.
You know, just kept negging them, being like, really? Wallpaper in the bathroom? Kill yourself, mum.
There's one nigger. I feel like the other 2 are very shy. I don't know why you've gone so hard on
No, they're a clique.
they don't click, but they are a clique.
They're giving me Mean Girls vibes, okay?
yes.
We've got a Regina George classic stereotype, and then the other 2.
So yeah, Dakota lives in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, and they've got a great character motivation
Yeah.
now. They are hungry. There's a diner half a yard away, I guess. They go to the diner. They get in there. They have a giant meal.
Yeah.
They get up on a table. They dance to Toxic.
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson comes back. She's like, where have they gone? She runs there to try and save them. She can't. They all die. Turns out,
Future.
it's the future. She goes, I know what'll be quicker. I'll hop in the car.
Yeah.
This was slower. Why? Why was it slower?
Oh, I assume in America, like the highway was like a 20-mile thing, and it was just a brisk walk, and like, well, I've got to drive anyway. She redoes it. She drives straight into the diner, killing Spider-Man, but not really.
Yeah, but not really.
What's his strength? Because a car going, he's being hit by
the hand.
It's the
His strength is the hand. I would love it if it is just the right hand, because it means his whole costume, there should just be no glove.
Yeah.
On the right hand should just be this bare hand. So
he's like, I'll take my shoes off and be gloved. Now, Carl, remember this. She drives a car into him because she saw the future.
Yeah.
Somehow, this exact same plot comes back again.
Oh, it's so good that there is just a single action sequence that these writers love.
Yeah.
And it's somebody getting hit by a car. They love everything around the movie is in a car.
Yeah.
They love cars. They love diners. These people, they just love America. That's what it stands for.
It's a piece of Americana in this film, and I think it'll be slow to write.
They love fireworks and they fucking love Pepsi.
They love a cherry pie. God damn, it's American.
This is the most American movie I've ever seen, Oscar.
Do you know what Madam Web's costume is? Red, white, and blue.
Fuck off. Yeah. Fuck. Jesus. Wow, that's actually so good. Let me put my hand over my chest for a second.
No, you're poisoning yourself. Fuck.
I'm gloved.
They get out of the diner and they go to a motel.
Dakota Johnson's doing a very good job at taking no responsibility and getting away with a lot of things. When it seems like there's an international hunt for her because they think she's kidnapped three girls. When they go to the diner, I think she does something especially odd. It's two things. One, she makes the three girls all sleep in a single bed, and Dakota Johnson takes the bed for herself, which I just think, like, go 2 for 2.
But I think very in tune with a character. It works.
Yeah. I would have loved, which one of the three girls do you reckon maybe tried to hop into Dakota's, and Dakota was like, no, I paid for the room, you three over there.
No, it's third bed. Fuck off.
I think it might have been like Sydney Sweeney.
I think Sydney Sweeney thinks she's a bit more connected to her, and Dakota Johnson shut that down. Went, nope, it's third bed.
Sydney Sweeney was like, "Oh my god, tell me more about your mom. I'm just gonna lay my head here for a second." Dakota was like,
pushes her off the bed, just like, on the floor now, aren't you?
Just shoves her. Just like, you didn't see that coming, did you, Sydney?
I did.
I did. I would have loved it to be like, "Hey, I just see the future, Sydney, and you're about to be on the floor." What? Just pushes her off the bed.
I've got a pack of 52 cards. Guess what? You're gonna be picking them up.
Her making a mess and just being like, I see you girls cleaning this room for a few hours. What do you mean? Just tearing down curtains and throwing down lamps.
Spits in the floor? Yeah, go on. I've seen the future. You do it.
You listen to exactly what I say. She hasn't even got powers.
Yeah.
She's
it's
just a power play.
Well, for them, really, all they've seen is her drive a taxi into a diner. That's the only proof they've been given.
I do think they've made a mistake in casting older actresses to play who they say in the movie are, I think, 16, because it just comes across as they're being very defiant at the diner when they dance up on the table.
I think, you have that act like a 6 because you're like, oh, that's
if they're
silly.
Younger, you go, you don't understand.
Yeah, and you'd also be like, of course they left. They were hungry.
Yes, absolutely. It just feels like the leeway you would give for their stupid decisions doesn't work because they look like they're in their 20s. They look early 20s.
Yeah.
So it's just not there. We get this beautiful, beautiful bonding sequence.
Yeah.
Where Dakota Johnson teaches them all to do CPR.
Yeah.
Where Madame teaches them to do CPR.
It's, I guess, in character. We researched after what Madame's character is, and I guess that's sort of in line.
Yeah.
But it just you can see what you guys are going to do is in 40 minutes. So
it's
learn.
Long.
So just learn.
It's so long.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, and you take a go.
Yep.
And you take a go. and you take a go, and let's get you back in.
Okay.
In case this one
Let's
gets
go for
tired
the middle,
over here.
huh? Let's do the middle.
Let's go. Guys, you don't even need to go in sequential order. Maybe you go for a little bit longer. Maybe you do a short bit. Maybe you get skipped a turn because this one's feeling stronger.
Okay, I feel like we've bonded. Now let's go back to bed. I'm going to leave you in the middle of the night.
I do love them being like, when do you stop? And she goes, never,
Yeah.
never. If they die, keep pumping.
Yeah.
If they live, keep pumping.
Yeah.
Make sure
Either
they
way,
stay
this
down.
is your life now. You're locked in. You're really locked in. I was a paramedic for 20 years. 19 of those was just one guy. Wasn't worth it. Could have got for an iron lung, but hey, that's the gig economy, you know.
She goes and she has a chat with the villain.
Yeah,
but that chat doesn't actually happen.
it's a dream. Yeah,
But is it she sees the future, and if she had gone and done that, she would have chatted to the villain,
I
and that would
don't
have
know.
happened.
I assumed they were sort of having like a Voldemort powers, and they were kind of merging their weird powers together. Because his whole thing is he can dream and see his death. So I assume they kind of.
But that's
I
his
don't know,
curse.
They linked.
He's
up
been cursed.
I don't give a shit. I guess they linked up the curse and her powers, and they had like a chat. I don't know, like a teams meeting. I don't know what
Weird
happened.
things happen in Peru.
Yeah. Anyway, we're in Peru.
When they decided, hey, I'm going to go to Peru, I'll be back in a week.
Yeah.
You're Adam Scott's problem now. I
Yeah.
went, we are not going to Peru now.
It is
Not now.
It is it's the best cut of the whole film. It goes,
God.
I'm going to Peru. Smash cut. We're in the Amazon.
She's just rocking in the back of a bus, just like, holy shit, what an adventure we're going on. I would have absolutely loved it if she was just on the back of the bus and she gets there and she just looks around for a second and it cuts to the plane landing back in New York.
I learned about spiders. Let's go get the guy. Now, this feels like where the film should have started. I think Morbius started this way.
Yeah.
And do you remember we thought it was a weirdly paced thing for it to start? This one's too late in the film. It should be at the 20-minute mark. So she goes to Peru. She finds where her mum's been. A Spider-Man comes out the tree and goes, hey, I knew your mum.
You want to know the truth? Just jabbing at her, just be like, you'd fuck.
You want to know the truth?
I knew you'd
I've
know
been
it.
here for 40 years and you took your sweet fucking time.
You don't know what a spider can do, and it's huge. Let me show you.
I've got a pond back there. Let's go.
You know how spiders love a pond? You know how this all connects?
He pushes her into the pond.
They do the Doctor Strange thing. I thought that was a big rip.
Yeah.
Of like the...
You can't take that. Yeah.
Well, it was just like...
But also her body's still going in the water.
Well, it was
Her
like...
soul's also going in the water.
Oh, I don't know, yeah, it was just odd because they did the full like push to the chest.
Yes.
And it's not like they came up with it, but they've very much popularized it to the point that I probably wouldn't have bothered to do it.
Yeah.
Looking like that
So
at least.
much like that, yeah.
She time travels?
She time travels. I think that's one of her powers. And she sees it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She sees it. And her mum's like, hey, I'm actually a really good mother, and I really want to keep this child. You're saying that she has a bad disease. Guess what? She's like a homeopath. She's like, I heard of this great shit in Peru that I can drink, and it makes my baby. And the doctor's rolling eyes like, God, these anti-vaxxers are so fucked in the head. Yeah, go to Peru. Fucking figure it out.
Go to Peru and see if that works out. But
Yeah.
don't come crying back to me when your daughter can see the future. Okay.
We see it all the time, and guess what? It's not a miracle cure. Sometimes you get cursed with seeing your own death. It's not all rainbows. Dakota Johnson's arc, I guess. In fairness to us, we did miss the start. I assume she.
It's the key. We would have loved it if we.
I assume she cussed out her mother for a good 40 minutes and gone, "Fuck you, mum. You're nothing to me." And then Dakota Johnson goes, "Mum, you're all right. Okay, I get why you died in the Amazon,
Crazy,
in the Peru."
crazy arc to be like, I hate my mum because she died at birth.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing to hold on to for 35 years.
Yeah.
Only to find out, oh no, she loved me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she had you, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
She kept going. She was in Amazon. She went to the Amazon to have you. Imagine being born there. That's huge for you, Dakota.
That's a good passport, you know?
Yeah, that's massive for Miss Madame.
She's like, she talks to the shaman and goes, and the shaman's like, yeah, that's pretty much all I need to do. All right, you're back to go home.
Yeah, and then again, the plane comes in. She goes straight to Adam Scott's house.
Yeah.
Turns out Emma Roberts, her water's broken.
A month early.
It's disgusting. There's water everywhere.
This is the best acting of the girls because, like, God, that is just hideous.
They look at her and they go,
They look at
that's foul.
motherhood. I'm out.
That's foul.
I'm out of the breeding
They
process.
look at her and they go, you're so old. We will never
God,
be
you're haggard.
you.
We'll never age.
Thank God we become superheroes later, apparently, because I don't want whatever life this is.
Giving birth to a superhero? I'd rather lobotomize myself. Where's that needle at, huh?
I do love this constant gag as well of Richard's not around, which is Emma Roberts' husband.
Yes.
And I'm just like, just as an excuse, so Ben's all
He's
around.
there. Yeah, because you know Ben, you don't know, I don't know, Peter's father?
Well, that's the thing is I think they're in a corner because they would obviously just have the mum and dad be there if everybody knew whoever Spider-Man's parents' names were, but they only really know Ben and Aunt May, so they have to use Uncle Ben so people get the reference, which is lazy in of itself.
It's fucking insane. Anyway, this is, I guess, the most action-packed part of the film.
Yeah,
this big chase scene. The editing, I guess, takes a turn. They start doing digital zooms everywhere.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, for some reason, the last third, they were like, what if a documentarian shot this? But we made it look like that in post.
And we didn't film it like that. There's a lot of static shots, so you're going to have to do a lot of legwork. They drive around. They steal an ambulance.
He's coming to kill him.
Dakota Johnson does the same car gag. She drives the ambulance through a car park and straight into him. Still isn't dead.
Yeah.
It's weird what won't kill him. An ambulance like a 4-ton ambulance in his face. He's like, just a breeze.
It's crazy. She just keeps on being like, it has to keep being a bigger vehicle.
Yeah.
We'll just keep on doing bigger vehicles.
We've got a lorry next.
Yeah.
A cement truck.
She's just
a
like,
plane.
Let's get a train running over this fella.
Yeah.
When's the next?
Let's
go back to where it all began at Central Station.
Let's tie him up like a damsel and twist our little mustache, huh? They just leave Uncle Ben and Emma Roberts like, good luck with the baby.
They leave them in a traffic jam, just being like, you know what? I think she's faking.
A bomb went off like 2 meters away from them. Like, I think you'll be fine for
Dakota
labor.
Johnson goes underneath Emma Roberts' shirt and pulls out a balloon and is like, "No, you were faking."
Yeah. Pop
for attention. I can see the future. I saw that happening. Dakota Johnson just be like, "I can see the future. The baby's fine. Don't worry. You die.
Good luck. You're dead.
You
dead.
die.
Oh,
You you die. I'm cursed with knowledge. I'm cursed with it."
They drive around to the bit. I think their plan is like, well, I mean, you'd be a bit like, fuck, what kills this guy? You know what I was at? Crazy. 2 days ago, I was at a fireworks factory.
I wish the movie thought we were so dumb they had to replay the scene of them being like, it's the fireworks factory. If you go in there...
Well, you don't have to. They've already played it 48 times at the start. It grabbed you by the shirt. Remember this fucking fireworks factory? It's going to come back in the latter half.
I would have loved it if she just kept on thinking to herself, being like, where could we take them? And they just kept playing that scene, faded over the top of her face.
I wish I had a web of memories, because this is just stumping me.
Just, she keeps looking around and there's a fire just blazing in a bin, and then just a man working to like the side of it. And
someone's
like,
dripping a big Pepsi.
A big Pepsi. Somebody's like, cola flavor.
I'm lost.
Flares?
We go to the fireworks factory. This fireworks factory is odd because it's a fireworks factory with the biggest Pepsi logo I've ever seen.
I don't know how that ties in.
No.
Other than the fact that maybe, and again, in early 2003, I was very young, so I don't remember if maybe you got a free firework with a can of Pepsi.
Yeah.
If so, no wonder Pepsi's as big as they are.
Of course.
But
it was the cola wars. Things were different back then.
They got away with everything back then.
Yeah, exactly. It was brutal.
It was bigger than the Civil War,
Coke dropped bombs with Coke in them. That's mostly, it's pretty fucked. You can't even go to parts
They dropped
Peru
it with
anymore.
Pepsi, actually, because they didn't want to waste beautiful, beautiful cola.
We're at the fireworks factory. She
works out her powers.
Yeah, she works out her powers. But it's pretty crazy. She's like, I've lit in a bunch of fuses. I'm just gonna vibe it out. There's probably gonna be a bomb over there. Duck. If you can't duck, you're gone. So good luck with that.
She's like, everybody, if I just say things, assume they're for you, because I'm sorry, but I have forgotten all of your names in the week I was gone. Again, I had quite an experience.
I'll be honest, the shaman really took most of my experience was with the shaman.
I'll tell you right now, to be honest, you're lucky I came back. I loved it over there.
I had the whole web of time and I came back to you three.
I know I said I'd be back in a week. I learnt what I needed to in the first hour of landing in Peru, then vacate.
It was in the brochure. I couldn't believe it. Really, it's pretty insane. Internet Cafe had all the information.
You know how
the digital age is amazing. Wikipedia is blowing up.
Peru's more developed than Japan. People don't know that in 2003. How did she get on a plane?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, everybody's searching for her. She's on newspapers as being
That's
the kidnapper.
so true. I think they forget. I really do think they forget. That's such a big point. There's so many little things like that.
So many
That-
things they just drop.
But it's a good film, so you ignore the plot
Oh,
holes.
it is. It's a hoot. It's a hoot.
It's a goddamn hoot. We're at the biggest Pepsi commercial I've ever seen. We're on the roof of the
It
fireworks
is.
factory.
This is why they just stopped doing the halftime show.
Yeah.
Because they knew they had this
They
movie
had
in the back.
Apple Music's like, we got the Super Bowl time. And Pepsi's like, you fucking idiots. You missed the biggest goddamn opportunity of your life.
They're looking at, they're like, we could either spend $80 million on Usher or $80 million on Madame Web, and both were going to be a failure. So in the end, what did they land?
Wouldn't this be great if it was a big placard for Steve Jobs, like, coming in 4 years, a big thing? Get ready for that, huh?
I wish it was even more hyper 2003. Just things just being like Peter Jackson's King Kong and it's out this summer.
We're on this Pepsi commercial. I've never seen like this much marketing intertwined with the climax of a film.
It was
it's like
disgusting.
we did Aquaman with Guinness. It's like he forged the villain with a Guinness. They're scaling the Pepsi Tower. The helicopter's like, listen, you have to get higher on that gorgeous Pepsi sign.
Look how well lit it is. That's a
my
company
God.
with money.
That's a company that's thriving in this
Yeah.
economy.
This is them. You need to jump to the max.
Oh, God.
Madame, jump! Jump, madame!
Oh, my God. Okay, so...
I would love if they had one of those corny things. You know where they're like, what's that superhero name going to be? And people, news anchors, like, watching the whole thing on...
The Cola Girls.
Dude, they're just like, oh my God. Who is that? It's some sort of web. Some sort of Madame Web.
But the biggest thing about this Pepsi thing, sorry, going back to it, is that in the flashback right at the start, it's the best foreshadowing the film does, because it's just a big S. You go, that's weird. I wonder what that's going to come into. It's just the S in Pepsi. And it lands on the
Quite the reveal.
it's a huge reveal.
I was pretty shocked. I got to, I rocked in my seat. I went, wow, that's a reveal.
I guess the power of Pepsi, because it's got power in the punch, finally kills the villain, which is a crazy thing to do.
It's so good. But Madame Web's there, and he's like, guess what? No matter what you do, all three of these women are going to die. And she's like, no, I will save them all. Has a can of Pepsi. Then Astro
Does like a
projects-
Popeye, gets the spinach fist and does like spreads it out. The villain, it's crazy. This is her like big moment. The villain punches her in the face, and she goes, "Oh God, my Madam Web! Oh God, I was foiled immediately." Because she doesn't save them, does she? He's just distracted.
Yeah, that's right. She ends up winning due to talking. She's like, the Pepsi sign will kill him here, so I just need to chat a bit. Just being like, hey, so when you were in Peru, where'd you like stay?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it was a gorgeous little Airbnb, man. It was gorgeous. Here's the thing.
It wasn't around then.
Yeah, it wasn't back then. Yeah. But you go to this little gorgeous villa in the south of Peru, and it's just adorable. Oh God, the S. Oh God, I'm crushed to death.
Anything but the S.
Do we think the S is more powerful than a car or a taxi? Because I don't think those big billboards are like, I don't know, lead weighted.
We simply don't know. It is crazy too, because I don't know how they work out how that they're not contradicting that his dream of being killed by the three girls.
Yes, because I turned you to the cinema and I was like, isn't his curse that he sees how he dies? And you were like, shut the fuck up.
Well, because he falls in the same way.
Yeah.
And the three girls are there. Yeah. So it's not like one of those... I think they could have gotten away with being like, it was out of context.
Yes.
You know, like he had misunderstood.
But it was such a detailed scene. Like they had the pinches and it seemed like it was very established.
Oh, they were very aware because they were like, let's get them in. It was almost like they used that cheap flashback as a reason to get them in costume.
Yes.
To the point that it wouldn't surprise me if that was also a reshoot. Because they had tested it and been like, why do these girls never hop into a superhero suit?
Yes. It would.
And they were like, well, the only way to do it is to literally show it once at the beginning and then once at the end.
I mean, I would love to rewatch the trailer now because that was so heavy in it, wasn't it? It was
yeah, it is. They've done a huge bait and switch. I mean, if you were a big Madame Web fan, not only will you...
I assume if you're listening to this podcast, you're a big Madame Web fan.
You're all in on Madame Web.
Yeah.
Yeah. A French icon, if you will. Also, the laugh that it gave you when she was like, my name's Webb. You were like,
I couldn't believe. Cindy Webb's the name. No relation to that Amazon girl. Carl, the film ends. The villain's done. We get...
CPR scene. Teamwork. it comes back.
Yes.
There's a reason we spent so long on it.
They drag her out. They give her CPR. All is well. Her eyes glow a bit white. I assume she's reached her full power. We cut to the hospital. Gorgeous little Peter's been born. Ben is over the moon. He's like, wow, this is a great day for everybody.
Madame Web is in the just the bedroom across the hall, and she's just like, oh, guys, I'm so blind.
I am so blind, so paralyzed. This has been it's crazy my powers didn't see this in the future, huh?
She's like, if you had told me at the beginning of this that me saving the three of you would have resulted in more death and carnage on New York and me being paralyzed and blind, I would have let you die. I would have let you die.
You're still so grating. I gotta stress that to you guys.
I'm not a fan of any of you. Again, if you stay in this room with me tonight, the three of you are on the other empty bed. Nobody is staying next to me. I couldn't even move if I wanted to. That's how bad of a day I've had. Believe it or not, I had the exact same fall I had at the beginning of the movie in a car. Yet this one has fucked me up so much worse due to the three of you just being around. We are family now because I need a carer, and because you got me into this situation, you should fucking do it for me. So we're gonna go home. You're a family now. You're written into a contract, and you need to get me Kung Pao chicken immediately.
This cuts to probably the greatest scene of all these like superhero movies. Dakota Johnson is in this wheelchair. It's got 4 wheels, and she's got these weird red glasses on. She's like Charles Xavier.
She's very Xavier vibes.
I assume, I don't know what was going through her head, but you can almost see a smile on her face going, this is a joke. This is a goddamn joke.
You can tell. I think the smile on her face is she walked onto set and saw what they wanted her to do with the scene, and she went, I'll do it for an extra $1 million, and they went, sure. And she went, okay.
It's weird. The film it's an origin story.
Yeah,
I don't know what these people are.
Oh, it's so irritating. I cannot imagine living with her when they're just like, oh, we went to the store, but we weren't able to get the thing, and she's like, Kung Pao chicken's fine. Yeah, and I would just be like, okay, cool. How about you let me finish a fucking sentence? How about that? She's like, oh, bless you, and then she sneezes. That would irritate the hell out of me.
It would ruin the sneeze. How would that ruin the sneeze? Someone going putting like a finger up to your nose, going, oh, got it, ruin. Let me enjoy things.
Simply hate it.
Yeah, an absolute nightmare.
Imagine that you were watching a movie and she's saying that line of dialogue seconds before it appears on screen. Doing anything with her would suck. She's the worst. This group, this weird group that has constructed a family up in this, I don't know, attic, is a hellhole. I would hate this. Everybody was better on their own. I don't know what the message was meant to be. I'm sad for all characters and their outcomes.
I think they would have been better just like living off the land. I think everyone would be happier. They
should have got back to that forest and just lived in a tent.
Listen, these nuts are pretty good.
They start hunting for squirrels. What a great little thing that would have been. When they start doing, and this is some of the ugliest filming I've ever seen, but it's this hyper HD glove with a CGI spider and like Dakota Johnson floating behind the 3 women on a web.
God, it's
and they're
gross.
like, you 3 are going to become great people someday. And they're like, do-do-do-do.
She even says, I've seen the future. This is going to be great, huh? She almost winks at the camera, goes, you guys are going to love this, huh?
Yeah. I've signed for a 3-picture deal. We're going to love it. This is going to be big, guys. It's going to be, Madame Web's going to be big in a big way.
Carl, who would watch Madame Web?
I simply think all should see it.
I'm going to say this right now. As we left the cinema, and I apologize to Sony and the survey community, he handed us an iPad and went, hey, what do you think of the movie? For the first time ever in our lives, we've been given the power to actually say what we think. This podcast does not reach Sony. Yeah. That survey did.
Yeah.
And we blew it, guys.
We absolutely blew it. Oscar and I both gave it 10 out of 10s.
Said I'd be recommending to every single friend. I said it should be on every streaming service, and I'll be buying the Blu-ray immediately when it releases.
They were like, oh, why did you enjoy this movie? And I said, because it was drama, action, everything you needed to the max.
I wrote in the comments, guys, listen, don't look at the box office. You've got a hit on your hand.
Absolutely. I wish I could have genuinely written something down because I would have said, make it 5 more, keep increasing the budget, make sure they all come back with, I want your catering on set to be seen on screen, like I can feel the excitement.
I want to see them full. I want to see them like they've just had a big lunch. That's the vibe for the film.
I couldn't have given them a more glowing review before at the end when I just ticked I would not recommend it to anyone. tens across the board.
I will
for
be
no one.
pirating this as soon as I can. It's crazy they had that option. So apologizing to Sony and the survey team.
They were also like, why'd you choose to see it? And I would have loved to have clicked the box if there was one that just said, because there was a Vanderpump Rules Madame Web crossover.
That was a crazy
That was
tie-in.
nuts they did that. And that alone got, I reckon, because again, we saw this opening day.
Yeah.
There were 5 of us in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I assume they're all Vanderpump fans.
Oh, and also snickering at the same stuff that we were doing.
Oh, they were. People were on their phones. People were snickering. People were laughing.
Yeah.
Nobody took this serious. Nobody walked out of the. I guarantee you, if you went and saw Madame Web opening day, everybody reviewed it like us.
Oh, exactly. The survey team's gonna be furious, and just
This is probably what happened with Morbius.
You know,
This is probably why they made Madame Web.
the reason I bring that up is because Carl, it's crazy that even Sony does not know who this is for.
They don't know why they've made
They
it.
don't know why they made it.
don't know why they've made it.
They don't know why they made
They
it.
must have showed this to a test audience and they've gotten those reviews, and then somebody went, "Wait a minute, who the fuck greenlit a Madame Web movie? Who was in this? Emma Roberts? Who shot this? Who the hell is S.J. Clark? What the fuck is this?
The Morbius guy's got another go? Oh,
Why'd
God.
you give that to them? What is going on? Is Spider-Man in this? He's not.
Did we get Venom or Tom Hardy? No?
People were grossed out that the villain never wears shoes. Why does he never wear shoes? What do you mean? Why is that there?
So yeah, here's our job. I think it's a romp. I think it's a
It's
mess.
absolutely a romp.
It's a romp.
It's such a romp.
Check it out. It's the best advertising we can give it. It's just odd.
You
It's
won't
got-
be disappointed. It's
Yeah.
simply you couldn't make heads or tails of any decision made through the film. I was constantly like, why is it shot like this? Why is it written like that? Why are they acting that way?
It's a beautiful blend of a director taking a chance and the studio going, listen, we're also going to take a chance. And both of the chances did not pay off. And then the survey team going, what do you think? No one knows who wants to watch this.
It's a movie from another time.
Yeah.
Movies like this don't get made anymore.
Here's the thing, it's literally Madame Web. It got made in 2003. They saw the future, what's going to happen. They're like, let's release it in 2004. It's going to blow up.
And it's just, you know for a fact, you just know, they're just shocked that people didn't want to see a Madame Web film. They're just going like, but I thought
Marvel's got some some backing. Like, really, man, we dried up, huh?
Yeah.
Our Ant-Man Guardians didn't do very well. That's crazy. The Sony executives had the exact same decision going, who could have thunk that Madame Web wouldn't gross $1 billion? We're stumped.
you'd be looking at it just being like, oh, God, what if they don't come back for Craven? What if they don't come back for Craven? What will we do
I'm
then?
so keen for Craven.
If Craven is half as good as this, I'll be pleased. Again, not a recommend, high recommend.
High recommend. Again, Sony's aware that we're stealing the movie. It was the top option. Like, how are you going to find this film again? You're probably
Yeah,
gonna...
you could click when you got given the tablet, being like, how would you consume this movie again? And I just clicked BitTorrent. That was their top option on there. And I went, wow, they know.
They know.
They absolutely know. It was also really funny too, because they were also like, what streaming services do you know? And I was like, well, I have Binge, I have Stan, I have Disney Plus, I have Netflix, and it was basically, I like looked down and I was like, oh wow, I have all of them but Paramount Plus. I'm never gonna get that. I'm simply never gonna get Paramount Plus.
I made an absolute foolish error, and we were trying to watch The Curse, and I forgot to not watch it in 7 days. So, L on me, huh? I paid for a month of
It
Paramount
clocks
Plus.
over to a full year on Paramount Plus. They
Oh,
go, we gotcha.
They locked me in for 56 years. Could you believe it, huh?
That's right. They get your first child and they get your shoes.
It's kind of a Rumpelstiltskin. What's that?
Rumpelstiltskin?
Oh, I really butchered that.
You with weaving a web, just being like, go on, prick your little thimble. Go on.
Isn't that Cinderella?
Sorry,
He signs a I mean, again, I'm going
no Sleeping Beauties with Rumpelstiltskin.
No. That's with Aphora or Aphira, not Sephora. It's what's it called? Maleficent.
What?
Sleeping Beauty is, hey, I'm going to curse every one of these spinning spinsters.
Yeah.
And Rumpelstiltskin is a contract guy.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Classic mistake.
Classic contract
Well,
debacle.
I think we should end it there.
Where's our Maleficent Rumpelstiltskin as like a contract guy. Modern telling.
Here's the thing. On the survey, I put down many of my notes, and they have not listened. It's ridiculous.
Where's David Lowery's Rumpelstiltskin
his twisted
film?
mind?
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.